It's June 1st, which means it's Happy Pride Month, and this gives me an opportunity to talk about a documentary that almost left Disney Plus, but didn't. So this is my review of Howard. It has audio description, and it gives me great opportunity as both a blind and LGBT critic to actually talk about something that has audio description and is right for Pride Month. So look at that. It's a winning combination. Um, and this is a documentary about Howard Ashman. And if you've enjoyed Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, then you've enjoyed Howard Ashman and his music. He's part of the duo along with Alan Menken that wrote some of the most famous songs. And there are little cuts of him getting to sing some of them, like singing Poor Unfortunate Souls, and just stuff along the way. But also the film is about this creator from the very beginning, how he always just was really interested in stories, you know, and we never really get to talk about whether or not he gets accepted by his family as an openly gay man, but there's like little moments where they throw things in, you know, like his dad didn't want him to take dance lessons. Boys don't take dance lessons, and I was like, well, we know where he stands. Um, it's also I'm kind of get a feeling about where that led. But no, it stays mostly in a easy, I don't know, easier to take for a documentary that ends up becoming an AIDS documentary. We've seen darker and worse documentaries before. This one tries to really truly celebrate his life, but it has to also deal with what happened to Howard and what he died of. And I remember learning about Howard Ashman briefly when the Aladdin DVD released many years ago. The original release of Aladdin on DVD, when films were just starting to get that hot DVD release. And on the DVD they had a feature that was Proud of Your Boy. And it kind of, you know, those who were still around were talking about Howard and how sad it was that Howard didn't get to live to see certain things. And Proud of Your Boy was one of his favorite pieces that he had written, and it didn't make it into the movie, but they storyboarded it, so we got to see sort of like this not quite finished animation that went along with Proud of Your Boy, with how it would have gone. I don't know why Proud of Your Boy didn't make it. I mean, it's a great song. They ended up using it in the stage musical. So, but we learned about that, and we get to hear from so many people who knew Howard Ashman, including Alan Menken and Jeffrey Katzenberg and Jodie Benson and some other people that you might recognize. So that's delightful. And he seems like he was such a bright light that unfortunately went out too soon. And whenever somebody's about my age and I either outlive them or I'm about to outlive them, I always just think about like, what am I doing with my life? I've got like 129 YouTube followers and this dude won an Oscar. Like, I just yeah. So just makes me a little bit depressed for some reasons. But the audio description here is actually really pretty good. It tries so hard. It is a talking head documentary, so you bounce back and forth between different people talking about Howard, and I don't think it introduced everybody, but I think it tried. There were definitely times where it popped in with a name, and sometimes it popped in with a name and what it was that they did, like Why are they speaking? What was it that they contributed to life that allows them to speak in this documentary? So, because of that, I think the audio description for the documentary is pretty good. Sometimes we go through these talking head documentaries, and I never know who any of them are. At least this way, I knew who some of them were. So some of them are just aren't even famous. They're just old friends of Howard's, and Howard pops up. I don't know how, but I don't know what they were filming him for, what they were asking him questions for back in the day, because I think this documentary was released in 2018, if I'm right, and he definitely was gone way before that. So it's not like they were planning this documentary and just waited just like an ungodly amount of time, like over 20 years to release it. But yeah, he wasn't around for the live action remakes. I wonder what he would think of the live action remakes of his work. You know, would he approve of all of it, of all the changes? Would he have approved of the new songs too? That's the thing. That's the big question. Would you have approved of the new songs? Or would you be sitting there going, I'm right here. Hire me. Please, to fix these songs. So, yeah, it's a great documentary for right now. It's a great documentary for Disney Plus. Hopefully they throw it up in the little featured area so more people know it exists. It almost got pulled. I think people would be interested in it. It's somebody who's a Disney icon. It's somebody who, if we're being just flatly honest, I don't think Disney would be around without Howard Ashman having come into the company. There's a couple people who came in, and what they did and how they revitalized the Disney movies, starting with Little Mermaid. If that hadn't happened, I don't know where Disney would be. I'm sorry. Just they were not going anywhere, and I don't know that Disney would have been able to exist without the kind of animation that it's had over the last, 30 years. So it's just, he's an icon. He's part of the company. Would you delete a Walt Disney documentary? Would you delete a Roy Disney documentary? Does Alan Menken have one? Alan Menken should have one. I don't know, Tim Rice, Elton John. I mean, there are some people here who really helped sort of bring Disney back to life. I know why we don't have a John Lasseter documentary, and that one, that's okay. It's fine. If certain things had not transpired, I would be asking the same question. I would say, why haven't we have John Lasseter documentary? But we could have like a beginning of Pixar documentary where he's casually mentioned from time to time, because again, without Pixar, it's Disney is animation, so they just are, whether they want to be or not, whether Bob Iger wants them to be or not. They can't just be Marvel and Star Wars. Those are not things they originally created. Those are things they bought. And Disney is not known as being the brand that buys things. They're known for being creators and Imagineers. So, this is a lovely documentary until it gets depressing. So, yes, it will talk about Howard's battle with AIDS. It first brings it up vicariously through a former boyfriend of Howard's, who they lose to AIDS, and then I guess Howard ended up, because his boyfriend was sleeping around, ended up getting AIDS from his boyfriend. I think that's where that was going. It doesn't really spell it out for you, but it's kind of like Howard had a boyfriend. Howard's boyfriend liked to sleep with other people. Howard didn't like that because Howard just wanted to be in like a one-on-one relationship. and so broke up. And then, lo and behold, turns out other guy ends up having AIDS, and Howard's with a new person, and they're just in this nice, you know, domesticated relationship, living together. And I guess his ex left him a gift. That was the terrible, terrible gift. So that's about that's what I'm able to surmise from a documentary that is on Disney Plus that doesn't really want to be talking too much about this kind of stuff and how the birds and the bees work in this situation. So, but I hope people give this documentary a chance. I know I don't know, everybody's always in the mood for an AIDS movie, but it's not really that. It's mostly just a celebration of his work and what he managed to create in such a short period of time on this earth. So I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. It's a great documentary, and I was really excited to learn a lot about Howard Ashman. So, and the audio description is really pretty good. So, all that being said, I'm going to give Howard an A. What a great way to kick off Pride Month. I don't know how many other... I don't actually plan out my reviews, so I don't know how many other times I'm going to be able to celebrate Pride Month, but I did actually cohesively plan to do this for June 1st. I heard about it. It was on the pull list. It didn't get pulled, and I was like, I'm reviewing that film for June 1st to start off Pride Month. This is when this is happening. So, this was clearly thought out by me. I rarely do this. Unless it's like a holiday or something. But, welcome. And, thanks for subscribing. And, I also have a website, MacTheMovieGuy.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MacTheMovieGuy. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description and where you can watch it. You can go to the ADNA.org. That's the ADNA.org, where you can look up who's narrating your favorite films and television series. There are also a host of pro-LGBT charities that you can check out and donate to, including the Human Rights Campaign, because it is Pride Month. So, in case you're interested in that, I would recommend either HRC or Trevor Project or something like that. One of the ones, there are many. Find one that's right for you. So, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the review, and I will see you guys on the other side.